Hey winners, welcome back to the winner circle. Today, y'all, I got a word for y'all, I got a message for y'all, and I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to share this word. I can't wait to share this message and enlighten you guys on some things. But first, before we get started, if you are new here, this is your first time seeing me, do whatever you got to do to join the winner circle. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, become part of the winner circle because you're going to get bossed up here, okay? If you've been rocking with me for a long time, I love y'all so much. Today's video is going to be about how chosen ones can smell in the spirit, okay? And I want to help bring awareness to this so you guys can start to activate and start to operate in your spiritual gifts, because let's be real, you are a powerful being. And a lot of people, you know, they start, oh, are you a witch? Are you psychic? Are you this? Are you that? And the bottom line is, let's not get wrapped up into all these titles, because that's all it is titles. And just understand you do not have to identify with any of these categories, any of these groups, and understand that just as a human being, you're powerful. Period, point blank, that's the bottom line. You're powerful. You don't have to identify with all of these different titles and groups and all these different things. I mean, if you want to, that's up to you. But as a chosen one, you're not really a part of any groups, okay? You as the individual, and you powerful, standing all by yourself. You are an army of one. And until you got to the winner circle, we all got your back. But you are a powerful individual all by yourself, okay? You could take down a whole town energetically, spiritually, all by yourself, okay? But that's gonna be the video, y'all. It's gonna be extremely juicy, extremely informative. I'm gonna drop some gems on y'all, okay? But before I start this video and we start spreading the gems, I want to address something. I'm getting some comments. People are really going out of their way to email me talking about, oh my God, you said God and a cuss word in the same video and da-da-da. Listen, you guys, if you think that God is not ferocious, God is duality. God is polarity. That means where there's hot, there's cold. Where there's up, there's down. When there's mad, there's sweet. Where there's angry, there's preciousness. Like, God is all of that. God is also ferocious, okay? God is just not just one-sided. And I am a reflection of God. You are a reflection of God. So I have two sides. Yes, I have this sweet meekness about me, but yes, I have this rawness about me too. And the winner circle is not sensitive. If you are too sensitive, maybe the winner circle is not for you. If I drop an F-bomb to emphasize on something that I'm saying and you get offended by that, this ain't the place for you. This is not the place for you, okay? I'm going to drop some F-bombs every now and then. I'm going to express my rawness. I'm going to, listen, God gave me, just like God gave me this anointing and gives me my downloads and my wisdom to spread the word, he also gave me this mouth in order to deliver the message, okay? I used to be a correction officer for 7 years, you guys. And in a prison, God specifically placed me in a prison to help and coach people. And the crowd that's in the prison, it's not like oh, stop that, don't do this. No, they need firm. They need firm direction. They need tough love to get the points across, to get the elevation across, to learn and to understand the message. And that was me. That's what God uses me for. So all of that, can we not use foul language while we talking about God? Listen, God is fully content with how I deliver my message. God gave me this message. God gave me this mouth to deliver the messages. There has not been one time where I did a video coaching somebody and I got off the phone, got off camera and said, God, are you mad at me because I said a cuss word? God is fully content with the way that I am projecting these messages. God is fully content with who I am as a person. I am fully content with who I am as a friend, a mother, a person, a life coach. I am fully content with the person that I am. And I mean, maybe it's just a season. Maybe the next season, I won't cuss. Who knows? But the bottom line is, I don't need y'all telling me how I should be acting, what I should be acting. I am fully in alignment with my calling, and I am operating in my calling. And if it offends you, listen, you don't have to be here. I will not take offense. I probably won't even notice. Like, you do not have to be here. But I am operating in my gifts. I am operating in my calling, okay? So I'm going to deliver the message the way that I deliver it. And I just want to emphasize on this a little bit, because for some reason, people think that you can't say a cuss word and believe in God at the same time. It's given religion. That's what it's given. We don't share the same God. Religion is your God. Okay, that's what it's given. It's given religion is your God. You ain't really tapped in, because if you really tapped in, you know that God, you know that God wants you to embrace you fully. Because when you're not embracing who you are fully, It's a facade. And this is how people leave churches and go home. I'm not perfect. You know, they're comparing themselves to the deacon and deaconess and the whoever. I'm not perfect. I need to stop cussing. I don't need to drink. I don't need to do this. As long as nothing is controlling you and you have balance, embrace the fullness of you. The moment you decide to embrace who you are, the duality of who you are, is pure freedom. Okay, it's pure freedom. It's just like, have y'all ever seen that movie or that show, Super Nanny? It's an old show. It's Super Nanny. What she does is she's a super nanny. She goes to people's houses who have troubled kids and they acting out and they reckless and the parents can't control them. And Super Nanny comes in and for the first week, she watches how the parents are, you know, disciplining them. How are they setting boundaries? How are they maintaining structure? And then, the second week she goes in and implements her own structure to provide order to the house. Okay. I'm Super Nanny. Okay. To provide order to the house. So, in a situation, let's say you got two kids, John and Johnny. Okay. The mom is telling, hey, John, stop. Don't do that. And John is a kid of more of a calmer nature. And he's like, okay, I won't do that. He listens. But then you have Johnny. The mom is like, don't do that, Johnny. Don't do that, Johnny. Johnny reckless. He jumping off of stuff. He ain't listening to that sweet little calm voice. Don't do that, Johnny. Don't do that, Johnny. But then Super Nanny comes in and say, hey, didn't she tell you not to do that? And the message gets through and Johnny is like, let me fall in line. I'm Super Nanny, okay? The crowd that God has me reaching is more of the rough around the edges type of crowd, and to where things need to be penetrated a little bit more, okay? So I am fully content with how I deliver my messages, okay? But let's get into it, y'all. Thank you for sticking around for the spiel, but let's get into it, you guys. Chosen ones can smell in the spirit, okay? And this is one of like the lesser spiritual gifts that people talk about. People talk about, you know, psychic abilities, having discernment, being able to see stuff, being able to pick up on things and different energies, but smelling in the spirit is one of the lesser things that people talk about. And I really want to shed light about it, okay? Have you ever been praying or fasting or just taking a walk and you're talking to yourself, you're talking to God, you're talking to yourself, you're just in your zone, and then all of a sudden you just smell something sweet, or you smell something real flowery, or you might not even be able to relate it to something, but it just smells so good to you? That's God showing his presence to you. That's the angels showing their presence to you. That's the spiritual realm showing you you're in alignment, baby. We got your back. We are here with you. Keep doing what you're doing. We're proud of you. They're rooting you on, okay? Anytime that and you might look around like, what is that? Nobody's around you. You're not like in a bakery or nothing, because oftentimes the smell that I get is like bakery vibes, like, and I be in here by myself, like not baking nothing. And I'm like, and I just know, and I'll be like, yes, God, like be all over me. I get like a bakery smell, and you're not around nobody. You might be in a park. Ain't nobody baking nothing. It just the smell doesn't make sense for the environment that you're in. That's how you know that you're smelling in the spirit. And I want you, the more you become aware of it, and the more you acknowledge it, when you start to smell, that sweet aroma, that beautiful feathery, that beautiful flowery smell, and you know that no one's around you, you're not smelling no one's perfume. It's not a strong chemical smell. Perfumes smell good, but it's not a perfumey smell. It's more of a natural smell, like baked goods, like flowers, like fresh, like more of a freshness, maybe fresh ocean. Like it's more of a freshness smell. And if you're looking around and the smell, you can't pinpoint the smell to nothing, God is with you, baby. You in high vibrations, baby. God, the spiritual realm is showing you, we got your back. Keep pressing forward. I know you probably feeling like you want to give up. I know you feeling like, dang, I need a breakthrough. I know you feeling like the spiritual realm is telling you to hold on. Hold on, okay? Hold on. But on the flip side of the coin, if you've ever been somewhere and all of a sudden you'd be like, it smells like rotten eggs. It's a lot of low vibrations. It's a lot of demonic entities. It's a lot of negative energy around you. Especially rotten eggs or sour milk. The rotten egg, the sour milk smell, that is the signature smell for demonic entities, for unclean spirits, for low vibrations, whatever you want to call it, okay? Whatever resonates with you. And this is not to scare you, nothing like that at all. When you're a chosen one, it can't nothing touch you anyway, okay? Comment in the comment section, can't nothing touch me because I'm chosen, period. You got to know who you are. We operate, we know who the fuck we are, okay? At this channel, at the Winner Circle, you know who you are, okay? But if you, those are the key smells right there. Those are the two biggest ones, rotten eggs and sour milk. And you cannot pinpoint it. You know, you might start looking around. You might be at a friend's house or something. You might start looking around like something smell like off in here. Like, and they may not even smell it, or maybe they do smell it. They're looking in the fridge, they're looking in the trash. You know, there's nothing that's warranting the smell. There's not something spoiled. There's not something in the trash or some old food that they left out. If there's nothing that's warranting the smell, it's a bunch of negative energy in there. It's a bunch of low vibration around you. It's a bunch of people under negative influence, demonic influence around you, okay? And let's go into some more examples. Like, have you guys ever been to like low income apartments or something, or like the projects, or just lower income? And all low income apartments are not like bad looking or bad to live in, not at all. That's not where I'm going with this. But if you ever go to those kind of environments typically host people with lower vibrations, typically host people who have nothing going for themselves, who ain't nothing, who's just wasting time. They spend all their money on drinking and smoking. They have no substance to their lives. It's because they're carrying a lot of negative energy, and they are the perfect playground for demonic entities. So that's why when you go to like lower income apartments, they always tend to have like this lingering smell. It's like the apartment itself, like the building itself just has like a stench, like maybe an old smell. That's because the energy is still there, but it's fading because it probably left with the people or whatever. But the buildings itself has this weird smell, and you just can't shake it. Especially if you get like a mothball smell, but there's no mothballs around. Comment in the comment section if you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've ever experienced any of these things that I'm talking about, smelling the rotten eggs, smelling the sour milk, smelling that mothball smell, but there's no mothballs around, or gone to old apartment complexes or low income apartment complexes, or an old house, or somebody's house that you know is low vibration, and you have encountered these smells. It's because you're smelling in the spirit, okay? It is for you to be aware of things that are around you that your naked eye cannot see. And as a chosen one, I want you guys to start to tap into your spiritual abilities. And when you start to smell these things, I want you to acknowledge it. When you smell that sweet smell, that flowery smell, I want you to acknowledge God. I want you to acknowledge the spiritual realm. Like, just say, thank you, God. Like, I know you with me. Like, say whatever resonates with you, but acknowledge it. When you smell those rotten smells, acknowledge it. You're not acknowledging demons or nothing. You're acknowledging that you're intuitive and you're tapped into the spiritual realm. And it's a beautiful blessing, okay? It's truly a gift to smell in the spirit. So when you acknowledge it, it gives your gifts more power. It amplifies your gifts. You guys remember Super Mario Brothers, how he would get that extra life and he power up like joo. That's what it does to your gifts. When you acknowledge it and you don't just brush it off like, oh, it must be this, or it's a coincidence, or no. When you acknowledge your gifts and you acknowledge that you're tapped into the spiritual realm, all it does is grow and grow and grow. And your spiritual gifts get bigger and brighter and betterer and betterer and betterer. Okay, you guys, it gets bigger and bigger. So I want you to start acknowledging your spiritual gifts. Acknowledge when you start smelling in the spirit, because once you start to acknowledge it and you start to harness it, man, listen, I'm speaking from experience, y'all. Life becomes extremely magical. Like, life really becomes extremely magical. It really does. Y'all, listen, I was today years old when I found out that roaches have a smell. I was watching a video and I think it was Tiffany Haddish's voiceover, and they was like, oh, this is nice. Y'all know what commentary I'm talking about? Y'all know what audio I'm talking about that's trending? This is nice. It look good in here. You did that. It don't smell like roaches or nothing. And so I just commented like, well, what do roaches smell like? Like, I never grew up around roaches. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful. Thank you. But I didn't know that they had a smell. And so people were commenting in the comment section, and they wasn't really giving me an answer. So I just decided I went down this rabbit hole, you know, to educate myself. And it's because of roaches. Apparently roaches have like a oil on their body. And so a combination of, because they run in packs and flocks, they're not a pack. It's not a flock. What is it? Like whatever you call a group of roaches. But because it's so many of them together, between the oils and the droppings, it creates this smell. Let me know in the comment section if you know what roaches smell like. Have you ever smelled roaches? And maybe you can help everybody else here at the Winner Circle understand if they don't understand what it smells like. But then I started to talk to people, and people say that they can literally walk into someone's house and know if they have roaches because it smells like roaches. And I'm like, And I'm like, to me, that also resonates with smelling in the spirit, because there's an infestation. That's what it is. Not a flock, not a group, an infestation. Because there's an infestation of something unclean, you can pick up by the smell. That's also smelling in the spirit. Okay, you guys. So let us know in the comment section if you've been able to walk into someone's house and smell roaches, or talk to us in the comment section if you've already know that you can smell in the spirit and you've been utilizing this gift. Okay, utilizing and acknowledging that you can smell in the spirit. So listen, you guys, the more you acknowledge your gifts, the more you put it out there and not be ashamed to say, you know, I'm intuitive, I'm psychic, I'm this, I'm that. The more, because a lot of these titles, I'm a witch, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these titles, they just have such a negative connotation because of, typically because of religion, you know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is, if does it make you feel comfortable to say certain titles? Again, do not identify yourself with these titles. The bottom line is, outside of these titles, outside of these groups, outside of these, everybody huddling, calling themselves one thing, as an individual, you are a powerful being, especially as a chosen one. And I need you to understand that and get out of the titles, get out of the mindsets of, is this good? Is this bad? No. Get out of that and start to harness and activate your spiritual gifts, because God has given you spiritual gifts. People will literally walk up to me and say, you psychic. And I'm like, okay. And I know that I am, of course, you know what I mean? And that's not to scare anyone. I don't walk around. I don't identify as a psychic. I identify as, I'm a chosen one. God is using me and I'm operating in my gifts, and I know that I'm powerful. But people, because people use categories and labels and titles, you know, people literally walk up to me and say that. And that's the difference between people who, you know, operating in their spiritual gifts or not. People who are walking around, I'm a prophet this and I'm a prophet that and I'm a psychic this and da-da-da. Those typically be the people who not, because it's not something that you announce. It's not something that announces itself. It's something that presents itself. I don't identify with none of those titles. I don't walk around saying none of that. So you know it's real when people, God said, well, people will come up to you and prophesy to you. God will literally send people to come up to you and tell you who the fuck you are. And people literally come up to random people of all races, all nationalities, come up to me and say, you psychic. And I just be like, okay. I had an older lady walk up to me and she said, are you aware that you're a psychic? And I said, sure, ma'am, yeah. And she said, you ain't fooling me, I see you. And I said, I'm not trying to fool nobody. She said, I see you. She said, I see you in the spirit, I see you. And she just walked away. And it made me feel so good. But that's because she's operating not in her physical, but in her spiritual realm as well. So don't get caught up with all these titles. Just as a human being, you are powerful. But going back to smelling in the spirit, when you are smelling in the spirit, acknowledge it, because it is going to help you grow and cultivate your spiritual gifts, okay? Listen, y'all, let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know, have you ever smelled anything in the spirit? And just talk to each other amongst in the comment section, so all of us can know that this is a safe place and we are all growing together spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. We're on our personal growth and development journey. I love y'all. See you next time.